Dan, right?
Nick.
What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. So I have Ben and Nick. I called him Dan. I'm sorry, man. But we got two brothers here, and I thought it would be an amazing video. So I've been talking to Ben kind of just a little bit more about scanning for stocks or how to find the best quality stocks. I made a video with my little sister on how I taught her kind of the whole basics and whole mechanics of trading stocks. We have 15 minutes before the market opens, and I will be going through the step-by-step process on scanning for stocks and that are relevant to the current market that we're going to be trading right now. I am swing trading a specific stock, so I'm not too sure if I'm actually going to take a position on it, but I do have $1,000 just laying around that I could potentially just take a small position for a momentum trade. So other than that, I want to give a huge shout out to both Ben and Nick. just kidding. But overall, thank you guys again so much for tuning in. The links are all down in the description. If you want to be a part of TechBot Solutions, we're a little bit over 42,000 members worldwide. You guys can be a part of our beta trials as well. The link is going to be down below if you guys would like to sign up and give us some feedback on our new website, as well as check out the TechBots apparel because it's now available for pre-order. If you guys have not donated to the cause that we are raising money for when it comes down to Hurricane Harvey and all the members within our group that have been affected because of the natural disaster, feel free to check out that link and then give us some feedback. So if you guys can't donate, then at least just sharing it with some friends and family would be extremely useful. So thank you guys again, and let's go ahead and see what people are saying. Let's see. I don't think I'm on the right one. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Good morning. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. What does it say? Alrighty. Awesome shirt, Squid Squad. Of course, only buy the best. It's definitely tell Ben I said what's up.
Hi.
What's going on? Please explain JDST. Okay, let's kind of get right to it because we have 13 minutes before the market opens. And let's go from there. So also known as Real Estate God. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what you're known for. But let's go ahead and get right to it. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and we can start breaking it down from there. So again, I'm going to have Ben and totally kidding, Nick, break down every single thing when it comes down to asking questions about scanning for stocks, which I'm pretty sure are going to be questions that you guys might be having. So feel free to ask questions within the live stream, but then I'm going to be answering their questions throughout the live stream as well. So thank you guys again. Let's go ahead and start sharing the screen. And let's go from here. So again, I'm using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. So right now, as you guys can see on the left-hand side, this is my watch list. So we can go down. If you guys haven't seen my how to set up, Thinkorswim, you guys can simply search up, how to set up Thinkorswim, and then put my name next to it on the YouTube search bar, and I will show you exactly how I was able to set up, and simply allowing you to navigate through your whole watch list by simply clicking the downward arrow. So what we're going to be looking for is mainly a momentum stock. So let's go ahead and do a 3-day analysis, and AMD looks like it's at new highs 1320, so it continues its upward trend. JDST making new highs during pre-market hours of 2363. DCTH coming back with a pullback. RTNB, oh wow. RTNB with an overall support. Okay, this actually might be a little bit interesting. The reason why is because an old support, if you guys could see right here on the left-hand side, was around 225. That's exactly where it's approaching right now. So if we can hold above 225, that will become a new support. But until it breaks and holds above it, it most likely will become a resistance. So we'll most likely experience a pullback right here. JDST dropping again like no other. Again, the inverse ETF of JNUG. And it continues to drop. Overall support at 45. So I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to have a runner today. But if you guys know anything about this specific stock, look how much it's fallen by. And this is a gold-based ETF. So this is a bear ETF, meaning that when gold goes up, this ETF goes down. So it's seen a downward trend. So a lot of margin for profit, but it's not showing any indication that it's showing any signs of upward momentum. So it might not be the best investment, right? You're kind of just hoping that it bounces. So AKS, something that I like about this one is the pullback that it had. It's holding at the support, so it has a support at 560, and it has the potential to come back up to the resistance that it had at 580, 590. Do you see that? So if we focus in this area right here, you'll see an upward trend, hit 590, saw a pullback, but it's been holding pretty well around 560.
And we're only looking at the last 2 or 3 days?
Last 2 to 3 days, mainly because it's the most relevant, right, to the time frame or the frequency that we're looking at, or the margin that we're looking at. So is it unrealistic for this stock to go from 560 to 590 within one day? Well, no, because yesterday it went from lows of 560 to 570 to 590. I mean, from 590 to 560 all within one day. So does it have the potential to go from bottom to top? Yes, if the momentum's right. So, but again, you have to formulate a plan. And
so this gray part here, this shows what happened overnight.
What happened overnight, and then the dashed line is then now pre-market. So this is all during pre-market. So it's trying to hold above VWAP. So I'll explain to you. I made a video about what VWAP was yesterday. Not too sure if you're able to watch that one, but the ones that I want to scan for is on your TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, just like you guys. Oh, excuse me. Just like you guys have right now. You click scan, and it's scan stock hacker. This is the frequency that I set up. So it says stock. So you click on add filter for stock. So it's stock last minimum, meaning the price has to be at least $1 and up to $30. That's the margin that I want to stick with for the price range. Volume has to be around 3,000, no max. So 200,000, and then price change. So that's a study. So you click on add study filter. It has to be a price change open. I just put 4 bars of at least 3.5% greater. We can move this down just in case we want to find a little bit more stocks. And then the last 4 bars.
So you're just looking for ones that are volatile then?
Yeah, we want to make sure that the stocks are gapping up. So scanning for every stock within the within the stock market, it came up with these stocks. These are still too many, and the volume is too low. So let's like that, and then let's focus on stocks with a little bit more percentage growth.
So you're only looking for positive?
Yeah, for positive. 3. So and you can definitely do the other way around. The ones that gap down to see if they have any more margin for profits. That's a pretty good question. BCLYF. This is actually a pretty common stock that's traded. BCLYF. Okay, well, as you can see, it really has no. Why is it? It really has any history. So not really interested in that. Do you see that there wasn't enough? RTNB was the one that we just called out. Do you remember? That was in my watch list. So I caught that one. The one that I said that had the old support, it was at the old support, which becomes a new resistance. So unless it can continue to break above 225, it will most likely see a downward trend again. So there's a difference of stocks that are gapping up and that will continue the rally, or stocks that once they peak up, that during pre-market hours, all they do is that's when they have their whole movement, and when the market opens, then it sees a downward trend from there. So there's usually 2 different approaches that these series of stocks take. Let's go ahead and go back for scan. MNKD. This is one that we were talking about yesterday within our voice channels. Wow. Okay, so yesterday during when we were in the Discord app, it's been showing signs of upward momentums, if you can see, nonstop, right? The thing that I like about this one right now is it has an overall resistance at 230. I'm going to set my alert there if we can make highs. But we had a good amount of people that were able to buy on the pullback. So this is an alert that I'm setting. So if it goes above it. So right now, what we're able to see, we're going to have to wait till the market actually opens. Overall resistance is going to be around $2.30. Support is $2. You see how it bounced perfectly at $2. So it has this margin of profit, right? Mm-hmm. So we either wait for the bounce again, and the reason that it bounced also was this is VWAP. So this is the gold line right here, and this is the red line, and then this is the purple line. So what VWAP usually does is it's usually a good indicator on where it's going to bounce. If you can see it held right above VWAP, start to see an upward trend. usually the purple indicator, when it's below, that's a resistance. But if it's strong enough, it can break through it and then continue, and then the red one becomes a resistance, and like vice versa. So the red one is a resistance, and then when it comes down, the purple can act as a support. But then if it's strong enough, it can continue trending down and go bounce at the golden VWAP line. Okay.
You wait for it to come back up a little bit once it hits the gold line.
Yeah, so right now everything is like really close together. It's approaching the VWAP right here at 225. Like we saw yesterday, I mean, when it usually opens, if we can get a strong enough push, then we can probably push right through the 230 resistance, which then can make a good like momentum trade. So anything above 230 would be like would be a good indicator that's going to continue the rally. So we wait for the break above 230. We try to get in, and we sell out wherever the red VWAP indicates it's a good sell.
What would you want to buy on the way up when it's near its resistance?
No, when it breaks its resistance.
You have to wait till it's just past that line.
Because if you go a little bit, well, this one's going to be a little bit different, which is the one like RTNB. RTNB, the reason that you might want to buy when it breaks 230, which is currently, it was an old support, which becomes a new resistance, but it's because based on previous trends, once it breaks above the new resistance, it becomes a new support, and then it makes a new resistance at like 250. So it breaks above the resistance at 230, and then that becomes a new support. And then it has another resistance, and you would have to find where the new resistance is at. So where it kind of struggled to peak out at, it would be like around this area right here. I'd say like 260, 250. Okay. So let's go ahead and see. NPP, NY. Oh, same thing with that one. That's weird. Let's see what you guys have to say. RTNB is looking good. Save DGAS. Oh, sweet. I like those. Okay, so LINU. Actually, LINU is like a really popular momentum stock that I tried to trade. Oh, that's the one that I missed out on huge. Remember I was telling you?
Yeah.
So right now, and just like we called out yesterday, so we had another trader ask me, hey, what do you think is a good buy? 2 days ago, I said that, at the bounce at VWAP, which is most likely going to be at 180, the VWAP picked up a little bit and it bounced at 185. And then again, right at the red VWAP line, that's where the resistance was, right? It broke right through. If you could see, kind of flatlined here, and then it broke right through it.
What is that an acronym for?
It stands for, it has the actual study, or it's like, I would have to search it up to give you the exact. No, you're good. But as you can see, it peaked out at the red VWAP line up here. It started seeing a downward trend, and now it's like approaching. It's still hitting the red one. So we have to wait for the break in to see if we can see any pullbacks for it to bounce on the golden VWAP. But based on previous trends, when it's like below $2, it's been doing pretty well to continue its upward trend, right? So it opens at like 180, and then it continues its upward trend. Even if it does open at like $2 or something like that, it catches at the VWAP, then it has a nice little bump if the demand is there. So you have to make sure that you see all these volume spikes. You have to make sure that the volume and all that is there, and you want to make sure that you can get in and out quickly. Because
so this is the total quantity of people actually trading it?
Yeah, right here. So within like, it's normal when it was seeing a downward trend, like per candlestick, or per minute, or per 5 minutes, it was seeing 21,000, almost 22, and then when it had one of its biggest pushes, it was almost 705,000. So
how many shares are there total on this one? Where does it show that?
Yeah, that would be. It's still seeing a downward trend, so that one's not big bounce right now. AAOI, I saw a couple of people calling this one out. Okay, do you see why this one could potentially be a good buy because of how low it is in the price itself? But it's not showing any signs of upward momentum yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply set my alert when it goes above 60. Alrighty. And where's that? Alrighty, guys. So the markets are just about to open in a couple seconds. Again, when it comes down to trading, you should never be investing in anyone else's opinion. You should always have a plan when investing, and you should only invest in what stocks you see value in. There it goes. Let's go ahead. People are calling out. Okay, people are calling out a series of different stocks. I'm going to be going live for 10 more minutes on this YouTube live stream. And then for those that don't join us within the Discord group, or those that are part of TechBot Solutions, you guys simply have to make your way over to the TechBot Solutions Discord group. You navigate down on this gray left-hand bar, and you click on Kettle's live chat. That's where everyone's going to be, and that's where we communicate with one another. So feel free to join us. Again, all the links are down in the description if you are not a part of the group already. The biggest one that has a momentum trade. Let me look at one last one. I want to see how JDST plays out. BW. That was crap. Okay, so this one just made new highs, so 230, but the volume isn't really there. Momo. It's in a downward trend. It's all mainly all it's. So this one's dropping way below VWAP. Do you see? And should probably bounce at around. Oh, do you see how quick that thing's bouncing? I mean, dropping. Look at that. Wow. So this thing, like, do you see that the RSI indicator is indicating that it's oversold? So the whole point of, let's see where it's at. Yeah, I just don't know this one enough to see. Wow. Why is it dropping so quickly? Overall, it should have like at least a technical support at $38. If we can get a little bounce, I mean, would the trade even be worth it? It's like 3%. But I mean, a good indicator, because this is another way to like trade pullbacks, is it had such a big pullback that, you know, if you catch it at the support, the reason that I needed $38 was most likely going to be a support. That they usually bounce at the 50s or just the flat number. So it bounced at 38, and it's right back down. It's right back up to 38.20. So now it's most likely going to try to trend back up, and now it has a resistance at like 39.11. Doesn't mean that it's going to go back all the way up 100%.
That's just because most people put in round numbers. That's all it is.
Well, no, there's just like a psychological like support in like different stocks. But yeah, weirdly, I think that has to be a reason why. Let's go ahead and check. AMD is still at 1330. JDST still holding at 2238. I would like to see LIM here. Yeah, not really much movement. It's still holding. The blue line is EMA, so it's holding below EMA, which is not a good indicator. It's showing signs of a downward trend. The VWAP is down here at 187. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for. Looks like during pre-market hours it was struggling to break above $2. So we'll wait for a push above 2, and if we can get enough volume, again, it all comes down to like this being a momentum stock. So if we can get volume to follow this one, and that's where like all the money is made. So RTNB, again, it had a really decent pullback, bounced right above the VWAP. Do you see it? Right here at like 193, and it bounced right back, and it's like at 214. But even just with that little pullback, if you're able to buy in that low, if you're quick enough and be able to sell at that price point, that's a little bit over 10% profit. So like with like $10,000, that would have been a $1,000 profit, and like we just popped right through. It just popped right above VWAP, and now it's heading to the resistance. Okay. So there was an overall resistance here at, what is that? At 225. Looks like it touched it perfectly and then saw a pullback, and it's coming back to the 210. So RTNB is pretty relevant right now. So again, it was kind of dying out when it came to like, you could see like the volume and all that was like pretty dead. Let's see if we can do a 2-day analysis. And I think that's what was leading a lot to its downward trend. But something that we could have done a better job as a group is it showed a sign that 140 was a support. It saw a nice little pump, came back down, and still held 140 as a support. So it was validating that support. Just that this is kind of a low cap stock that at $1.40, not a lot of people would feel comfortable holding this one overnight. But those that did from 140 to highs of like even where it's at right now, that's like almost 40% growth.
So we don't have the ability to after hours to get out or start putting money into it stock overnight. But how does it change like that? Who's?
Oh, I know we have access to certain accounts have access to pre-market or aftermarket hours. So if you have like a Robinhood account and you pay the $6 a month for the Robinhood Gold, then you can trade pre-market and aftermarket hours. But yeah, you definitely have access to it, but it's just the amount of people that do have access to it are a little bit less. Therefore, the volume isn't really there. So it could either be a good or a bad thing. But if you have access to pre-market or aftermarket hours, it gives you a chance to be able to jump on in. But it doesn't. There's pre-market and aftermarket hours, but there's even some hours that you can't day trade it, or you can't even move. Like pre-market hours is 30 minutes before the market opens, but I mean this is like 3 hours. So there's some hours that you can't do anything. Yeah. So now it looks like there's a support at $2. It looks like it's trying to hold, but it's still showing signs of a downward trend. Not really. DCTH is one that's like really like infamous within our group. It's very volatile. It's not the safest stock to trade, but it does well sometimes, and it's less than $1, so it's not something that I necessarily like to focus on either. But the biggest ones that I'm looking at for momentum trades are going to be LINU, RTNB. They're just not performing right now the way that we expected to. And then,
so do you have like a list of like 40 or 50 that you just check on all the time, just because?
Well, like these are the ones in my watch list, so I check on these mainly. But when it comes down to like kind of my go-tos, are JDST, JNUG, AMD are the ones that I are always at least showing some signs of upward momentum or something like that. Unfortunately, because of what was going on like last week with like North Korea trying to like fire that missile over Japan and stuff like that. The charts were all over the place, and everything but JNUG was down. JNUG was a gold-based ETF, so that one was up. So we were trying to follow that hype behind that one, but it was very unfortunate for those that were swing trading every other stock, because there's a lot that was like not seeing the growth that we wanted to. But then I called out AMD when it was at $12, maybe like 4 days ago, and I was able to. I called it out when it was below $12 because it's I think usually an undervaluation for AMD. AMD is a company that's partnered with Apple. They create the little micro devices for Apple. So when I saw that it was below $12, I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, well, this one has a very common trend, and the risk for loss is very small. If I just cut my losses at like 1 or 2%, and I got in when it broke above $12, and I sold at $12.57. But it's been seeing an upward trend ever since. So I might have sold too early, but I just didn't want to not lock in profits or something like that. So this is when it fell below $12 and stuff. So and it can tell you right here, there's an RSI indicator that tells you when it's more on the oversold side, but you never want to rely on one sold like indicator. So JDST right now is trending. It's trying to trend back up. This is actually the one that I was swinging, and I bought in at 47.52, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. So I'm down still right now, and I was down way more. So if I can get back out like where I bought in, then that would be ideal. Or I'll have my stop. My stop loss is set at 1%. So
you haven't hit that yet?
Yeah, no. All right, let's see. What happened to RTNB? listening. So right now, it looks like it's actually showing signs of a downward trend. So we can try to go into RTNB right now. This is the 5-minute chart. That's why it looks so funny. But it looks like it peaked out. It did all its work during pre-market hours. It's peaked out at like 230, 225. And it's kind of just flatlining here. So until it shows signs of upward momentum, so it breaks above the purple VWAP, then it's not really, like, I don't see the value in investing in, if you can see right now.
Didn't move much at all yesterday.
Yeah, no, it did not move. If anything, it was trending down yesterday. Yeah, so it ended up hitting lows of 140. So it's not playing out the way that we expected it to. The only other one that I see right now, I usually join the voice channels within our group, and they usually have pretty good stocks that are trending. So that's probably where we'll head on out right now. So. All right, guys, again, all the links are going to be down in the description. If you guys want to join us in the voice channels, the link is down below if you guys want to join TechBud Solutions. Once you get accepted to the Facebook group, on the top pinned post, there's a series of links that you can click. The main group chat link is on the very top, which will allow you to gain access to the Discord group chat. You do have to verify your phone and your email just to filter out spam and manipulation for those that are not in the group for the best interest. But we'd love to have you as a part of the team. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always direct message me within the Discord app. Thank you guys again, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. But most importantly, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, and like always, guys, let your passion be what drives you and your success. We're going to be in the voice channels right now, so click on Kettle's chat voice channel or live chat, and then we'll see you guys there. Like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care.